Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It's the bottom line, brought to you by Chaz's Used Auto Parts in Tawnytown, Maryland. Welcome, my friends. Elbows Up Dirt Productions. I'm Tommy Cordell. We're here in Studio 02. We're going to give you a little news and some big energy like I promised. Let me get back here to my working area. Got a fair amount of results to deliver tonight. A lot going on this weekend. Welcome, my friends. First and foremost, a big happy birthday goes out to Gary Stuhler. That's right, good old Gary Stuhler, the beast from the East, Mr. Smooth, whatever you call him. He turns 36 years old today. Congratulations, Gary. Gary's been a guest here on the show several times back when we just got started, back many moons ago. Okay, so first and foremost, here we go. East Coast Legends, that's right. East Coast Legends, weekly race roundup brought to you by David H. Martin Excavating, 50-plus years in the business, residential, commercial, agriculture, excavation, utility work, quality company. They're the premier sponsor, the title sponsor of the East Coast Legends by Freeze and Company. That's right, Freeze. Okay, here we go. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Okay, so your East Coast Legends. They made their trip to BAPS. The following week, they were Path Valley. That's right, so they made it back to BAPS here this past Saturday night. He had 34 cars signed in. 34. Good car counts. Always got good car counts. Man, at the end of the day, he did it. He pulled it off. Number one career win in the Legends car. It was Logan Jones. That's right, in the 5J. That's right. Good old Logan Jones. Got it done. Made it happen, my friends. And second, Michael Mahelski. Third, the Iceman, Kelby Freeze. That's right. He's collecting a lot of these P3s here, that's good. So he's on the podium. Okay, so Logan Jones, first career win. I tell you, I'm happy for him. I know everybody's happy for Logan. Fred, we good? Yeah. Okay, Freddie says we're good. So let's continue to move on. And but actually before that, your East Coast Legends, they'll be back at Path Valley. It's Spring Run. That's right, the quarter-mile bull ring this Saturday night. They always race good there, always tight neck competition, right? We seen Scott Howdenshell. He was victorious there a couple weeks ago at Path Valley. So we'll be heading back to Path Valley. So here we go. Dan's Auto Repair results. Make sure we got it right side up. Dan's Auto Repair from the east side downtown Rousersville, just right down the road here. Complete overhauls, minor stuff, major stuff, inspections, oil changes, brakes, rotors, you name it, they do it. You see Chad down there. He'll fit you up, guaranteed. Dan's Auto Repair, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, here we go. Let's continue on with BAPS. That's right, BAPS. Well, we had the Super Sportsmen at BAPS as well Saturday night. Scott Dillinger was victorious. He's 3 for 3. That's right. Let me say that again. 3 for 3 for Dillinger. Jay Fantasy, that's right, was second. Kenny Atkins, what's going on up there, Fred? You having a malfunction or what? Okay, Fred's getting the fingers working there. Kenny Atkins was third. Extreme Stocks, Evan Faust. Then Brian Walls was second. Evan Faust, as you might remember, the other week won and stepped up, met halfway and won the disqualification. And, he didn't get that win, but he come back and he got her done this past weekend. Path Valley, that's right, Spring Run time. Path Valley seen the first visit of the year for the limited late models. He had 17 signed in. At the end of the night, it was Michael Walls. That's right, Michael Walls in the 99 was victorious. Jack Stingarman, the young gun, was second. Third, Jake Moser, impressive run for Jake Moser. DJ Myers in that TRW race car, that's right, charged from, I believe, 17th. So he was on the move to finish fourth. Fifth, Cheyenne Smith. That's right, Cheyenne Smith. Thunder Cars, we seen Dave Yoder. He was victorious there, Kenny's brother in the Thunder Cars. TA Ward 270s, Corey Myers. He stood as P1 for the night. And then our Strictly Stocks was Justin Williamson. 600s, Jason Christ. Yeah, Jason Christ. And the 600s. And remember, that was on a day surface, predominantly a day surface. They started at 4 o'clock. Ceilings Grove, that's where we were. That's right, Friday night, 80th anniversary at Ceilings Grove. Wow, rain was around. It was around. I tell you, if I was a betting man, I said they wouldn't have got her in much past the heat races, but they got the whole show in, and then it rained. Man, I'm going to tell you, it drizzled a little bit on and off all night, but Mother Nature cooperated with us a little bit. You know what I mean? It cooperated with us. Super late models, 22 signed in, 22. At the end of the night, the Truth, Greg Satterley, was victorious. Second, Lane Snook. Third, Max Blair. Max Blair coming down from the northern tier for the weekend to run some races. Fourth, good to see Ross Robinson, the boss. That's right, making the long tow out of Delaware. And then Scrub, Rick Eckert rounded out your top five. So Satterley. But I tell you, Lane Snook, he impressive, won his heat race. He led several laps in that feature. He held off Satterley, which is no feat there, small feat by any means. There was a restart there. Satterley showed himself. Everybody fell back into play. Lane held on, and then another restart that gave Satterley a little oomph, and then he finally managed to finagle his way around Lane. But no shame there on Snooky. You know, it's his rookie campaign this year in the super late models, and he showed plenty of strength. In fact, when we did a post-victory Lane interview with the Truth, Greg Satterley, he had commented on Lane Snook, and he said he's going to be a pain in the butt because he's going to be good. He's going to be good. 410s, A.J. Flick, first victory for him at Snyder County, Sand Hill, as they like to call it. Double D, Danny Jeekrick was second. Austin Bishop was third. Winchester, there we go, Winchester. We were at Winchester Saturday night doing pit walks, just like we did at Sealings Grove. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Limited late models, we've seen the Mountaineer man, Gerald Davis. That's right, Gerald Davis victorious. Wesley Bonebreak ran second. Austin Stover ran third. Pure Stocks was B.J. Jenkins. Hobby Stocks was Jason Wilkins. Crates, Devin Brannon in the 137. He won. Bubby Tharp Jr. second. Third, Christopher Hutton. So it was good to see the Mountaineer man. I believe he won the last one out of the hat there last year's season there, and he got the job done. He was mighty fast. There was no doubt about that. So kudos there to the Mountaineer man, Gerald Davis. Port Royal, the Speed Palace. Super late models, 23 signed in. We've seen Max Blair, P1. He took the victory there at the port. Satterley was second. Justin Weaver. How about Justin Weaver? Fresh off at Bedford opening night victory a couple weeks ago. Scrub was fourth. And lo and behold, the birthday boy today, Gary Stuhler, rounded out your top five. 410s, Ryan Smith. There was 42 410s signed in, mind you. Ryan Smith, he was victorious. Chase D second. Troy Roggeman Jr. Third. Okay, moving on to Hagerstown. Let me get a drink of water. Fred, everything good up there?
Yeah, we're good.
It's getting warmer out. You got to stay hydrated. I'll tell you, the thermostat's going up. It's going to go up in the 90s. It's crazy for April. Man, once again, if you're just tuning in, I'm Tommy Cordell. This is The Bottom Line, brought to you by Chaz's Used Auto Parts. We're in Studio O2, bringing the energy, the results to you. H-Town, they opened up. Obviously, we know the story on Hagerstown. There was a lot of, wasn't going to happen, much of anything, if we go back several months ago. And Brian Booz and his crew and worked together with Hagerstown, and then they got a schedule. They got points funds, and so they kicked it off. Opening day on Saturday. Late models, limited late model sportsmen's, 28 signed in. 28 signed in. At the end of the night, showtime. Kyle Lear, he gets the dub. That's right. Kyle Lear gets the dub. Brian Booz runs second. Kyle Lee, third. Levi Crowell, there's a name you haven't heard in a while. Fourth, Jonathan Raley was fifth. Okay, so Kyle Lear, Showtime, got the job done. It appears they started all cars. There was no consolation. That was a nice gesture on the track. I got to be honest. It was, the track surface wasn't that bad. It was pretty packed there as well. In the pits. Extreme Stocks, Brandon Churchy. That's right, continues domination there. He picked up the victory. 305s, they had 39 signed in. Well, you knew that was going to be. They always bring a huge group. 39 of the 305 signed in. Logan Spar, he got your victory for the night. Crates, Trevor Collins making another long haul out of Delaware. That's right. The first state it is. Trevor Collins victorious in that number 72 in the crates. They tacked at the end. They had to pump him, pump it up, and he was good. He was legal. After they pumped him, and he was good to go. So he got awarded the victory. BAPS, they ran Sunday as well. That's right. BAPS ran Sunday as well. They had 410s and modifieds. 410s, Chase Dietz settling top and won. Brady Bacon, that's right. Brady Bacon come into town to race. And Giovanni Scelzi, that's right. Hot Sauce, whatever you want to call him. He was third. So Dietz, Bacon, and Scelzi. A lot of guys rolled in this past weekend. In Selinsgrove, we've seen the Aussie, right? Kerry Matson. He was there in the Vermeer 55 car. He was leading there, and he blew up, unfortunately. But a lot of these guys, they traveled in this past weekend. They didn't have commitments to high limit and such, and they're getting her wound up, tuned in for when they come back in here on the swing. Modifieds, that's right, 358 modifieds, center ride modifieds, right? Billy Pouch Jr., he was victorious. That's right, Billy Pouch Jr., no stranger to victory in the modifieds there, my friends. Notable, Colby Fry in the F1, the Superfly. He finished fifth. Remember, he wheels one of them a good many times a year. He finished fifth in his modified. Bedford was Friday night, obviously. Super late models on hand. Trevor Feathers parks it again, grabs another win for the year in that house car, the family house car, if you want to call it, number 27. Sean Shoemaker runs second again. He's right there. Sean Shoemaker's right there, making that transition this year from limiteds to super late models exclusively. Third, Tyler Emery. That's right. And LaSalle fourth, and then JT rounds out your top five. JT Spence, my friends. 305, Josh Spicer. Victoria Semi-Late's Kyle Wyant. Okay. We'll continue to trek along here. Williams Grove. Sprint cars, obviously. 410's Justin Peck. He was P1. He was victorious. Ryan Smith second. Lance DeWeese was third. LD was third. 358 sprints, Derek Locke. It was Derek Locke's night, I should say. He's always a hard competitor, as we know, in them 358 sprints. That 358 sprints is a good series. It really is. West Virginia Motor Speedway. Let's not forget about that. The Grassroots Racing deal they opened up this past weekend. Mike Hurley and his crew have done a lot of work and getting that place up and running. They had good car counts. Super late models were on hand. The Modified Mafia. Super late models, we've seen Tyler Carpenter. He was victorious. Second was Freddie Carpenter. Third, Levi Yetter. How about that? We've seen Levi Yetter twice this year. Bedford rolling in. Kyle Hardy, the captain. He was fourth. Okay, and then Lincoln Smith out of Ohio, I'm pretty sure. Lincoln Smith, young man there, rolls in and rounds out your top five. Modified Mafia, Austin Holcomb, victorious for the day. Chris Arnold second, and Michael Altabelli third. There you have it. Holcomb, Arnold, and Altabelli is your top three. Clinton County ran Sunday. They opened up 305s was Timmy Bittner, and Pro Stocks was Corey Long. That's right, Timmy Bittner in 305s, Corey Long in the Pro Stocks. So as you can see, there's a good bit of racing. Everybody's opening up. Things are starting to move along. This thing will fill up even more in the weeks to come. There's a lot of big shows. Just a lot of big schedules unfolding here is the weeks. It's only April, right, guys? It's only mid-April. So there's a long ways to go. That's right. Flipping over, Ashley Yoder Designs, race decals, race wraps, race cars, decals, sign work. Ashley Yoder Designs, my friends. And Who's Hot by Ashley Yoder Designs. We see the super late models. We're going to go with the Truth Satterley. That's right, Greg Satterley in the super late models. You know, he was second at Port opening night. He won at the Snyder County Sand Hill Selinsgrove Speedway Saturday. Sunday, Friday, Selinsgrove. Saturday at Port, he runs second. And he seems to be finding some speed. When Saturday finds speed, he goes in as a whole momentum shift, a pendulum shift there. And things, Robbie Allen and his crew, they get her dialed up, and he's on the march. Honorable mentions, Weaver, that's right, Justin Weaver. Like I said, opening day win at Bedford a couple weeks ago, and then he runs a strong third. That team's really come a long ways. They're obviously merged with Sean Jones's group in the 32J, and they spent some time in Florida. Not the results, obviously, they wanted to have, but he's got a lot of wheel time under his belt coming in the regular racing season up here, and he's consistent. He's consistent. 410s. Chase Dietz. We're going to go with Chase Dietz. That's right. Second at Port and a win at Baps. We're going to go with Chase Dietz. And he grabbed a few there earlier in the year, backing up a little bit, going into March. We'll go with Chase Dietz. Honorable mention, Ryan Smith. He had a 1 and a 2. He won 1 and he finished second. So we'll go with Ryan Smith. Obviously, that's the Donnie Kreitz, Davy Brown hookup right there. Okay. Here we go. Let's tell you what's coming up so you can get your schedules tuned up and get out to the racetrack. Amsoil by Aaron Miller, ladies and gentlemen. Amsoil by Aaron Miller. There you have it. Good guy right there in the Washington County, Hagerstown area. He'll fix you up with all your Amsoil needs. We got Sealings Grove this Friday. Super late models, 305 street stocks. We got Port Royal, right? Saturday night. Super late models, limited late models, 305s. We got Williams Grove, the Tommy Hendershitz Classic 410 sprints, right? And that's a PA Posse Series race. We have Path Valley Saturday night, wingless sportsmen's, 270s, 600s, Thunders, and East Coast Legends by Friesen Company. They'll be rolling in. Winchester, we got limited late models, 2,000 smackaroonies to win, right? Hobby stocks, pure stocks, and SCDRA Northeast, 2,500 smackers to win there. Don't forget the Keystone Nationals, my friends, August 1st and 2nd at Lincoln Speedway, $50,000. Let me say it again. $50,000 on the line to that winner who wins the Keystone Nationals and the SCDRA Northeast. That's right, the Keystone Nationals, my friend, in Lincoln Speedway, Pigeon Hills. We're tapped to do the media there and announcing all the good hoopla. Will be full effect, I guarantee you. Clinton County, limited late models, 270s, pro stocks, 4-cylinders. Hagerstown has off this weekend. They'll be coming back revved up for Lucas Oil on Sunday the 26th. That's right, Lucas Oil super late models, Sunday the 26th. BAPS, Super Sportsmen's, limited late models, extreme stocks, 602 crate sportsmen's and classic cars. Lincoln, Weldon Sterner Memorial, 410s, 358s. That's a PA Posse show. I tell you guys, this PA Posse series deal with the big money and the races, these guys are running constant, man. I'm going to tell you, wow. Can you imagine if we had that in the super late model world around here? We wouldn't know what to do. Our heads would spin off. Okay? Yeah. So they're running the Weldon Sterner Memorial with Lincoln. Bedford, late model sportsmen, semi-lates, SCDRA Northeast. Plus, they got to make up for those guys because they didn't quite get all their shows in last week because of rain. That's right. Rain hit them a little later Friday evening, and they didn't get that last SCDRA race in. Potomac Speedway, David Williams and his crew, they're doing one hell of a job. I'm going to tell you that right now. Kudos to them. This weekend, you're going to see, Saturday night, the 4th annual Danny Garrett Memorial. Obviously, that's DJ Garrett, who drives the 81, his father, and they did this memorial race. It's the 4th year going. 3,999 smackers. That's right, $3,999 to win. That's Potomac, Budds Creek. Street stocks are on the card as well. Hobby stocks, strictly stocks, and U-cars. So get down there to Potomac. Give them folks some support for sure. Let's move on. We'll finish out here with some news, okay, some generalized news. We're starting to get some notes here, and that's brought to you by Tim Fights Painting. That's right, Tim Fights Painting, interior, exterior, painting, power washing, commercial, residential, 410-977-2347. No jobs too small, no jobs too big. Right, that's right. We're going to get him a little signboard action once Summit signs. It does all of our work, does incredible work. They're going to be getting that around here for Tim Fights Painting, and he's the man, the sponsor of the news, right? The general news. First of all, I want to run down through here. We see J.T. Spence, first outing of the year. He was at Bedford, ran P5 up at Bedford. Tyler Emery back in the 72, the Pete Cameron 72. As you remember, Trevor Feathers filled in for that all last year while Emery nursed the ailing back. And he was P3 at Bedford, okay? We seen Austin Berry at Selinsgrove in the 86. They tell me they got some big news to disperse out here in the days, the weeks to come about something they're involved in the racing world. We're looking forward to hearing it. Good to see Ross the boss. That's right. Always good to see Ross and Amanda make the haul out of Delaware. Fourth place at Selinsgrove. And let me see here. Port. He was right up in there, but fourth was obviously, he won a good race last year. Won a nice race at Selinsgrove last year, so he's familiar with Selinsgrove. He likes getting around there. Eckert, solid run. Selinsgrove fifth, Port fourth. Okay, obviously, Scrub got tore up there at Port Royal weeks back, and, got things back together and had a solid weekend, a fifth and a fourth. We said about a huge car count at Hagerstown. Yeah, there was a good car count at Hagerstown, no doubt about it. Limited late models. How about this? The General, Kyle Lee. Kyle Lee makes his debut. Makes his debut in the Bruce Kane 15K. Runs a third place in the A-Main at Hagerstown. We said about Levi Kraut. Haven't seen Levi Kraut in a good while. That's right. And he was in the other booths, the C2, not the B2, the C2. Levi Kraut, he had a fourth place at Hagerstown this past weekend. Watch Jackson Garman in that TRW race car, my friends. The limited late models, he's consistent. He's going to be nabbing some wins here as we get a little deeper into the season. I can assure you that. Danny Snyder. It was good to see Danny Snyder, the 4S. He traveled with the ULMS last year. He was at Selinsgrove Friday. Unfortunately, they hurt a motor. They got to get another motor, get her shoved in there, and get ready to get back racing. It's always good to see Danny. They're good family. Independents or family racers, and it's always a pleasure to speak with them. Stuhler, the birthday boy, right? Fifth at Port Royal. Gary still got it in him. He's still giving the loud pedal, pushing her down. And, I look for him to have some real strong finishes as the year continues on. Once again, Lane Snook, Selinsgrove finished second in the super late model. Watch Snook. I think he's going to be a contender. There's no doubt about it. He's going to be a contender in the super late models. If he gets in the limited, he's going to be a contender there. So that's the generalized news by Tim Fights Painting. Remember, YouTube, go over to YouTube. Elbows Up Dirt Productions. Doesn't cost you a thing to subscribe. All the videos, including this, gets transferred over because of 30 days. They get deleted on Facebook. So they're there forever on YouTube for your viewing pleasure. We do have a show in Studio 02. That's right, Chances Used Auto Parts Studio 02. This Thursday at 8 o'clock, we'll release who that is tomorrow. That's right. So we hope you can tune in this Thursday at 8 o'clock. There you have it, Fred. I think we got it all. What do you think?
I'd say you have it all, too.
That's right. We got it all. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much for your support. We love our fans. We love our sponsors, the racers, the tracks, everybody. That's why we do this, to keep the big wheel of local, regional, dirt track racing turning. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you do it with big energy and you do it with elbows up. We'll see you at the racetrack this week. Take care.